TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan, you know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in at all times. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now listen, you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV, right? Time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency at all times. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money, getting to that guap, getting to that paper, you know, that dough is what it is, but always keep it in front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy is the highest forms of currency at all times. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, my cheese. Big salute to everybody that's going to tap in. Big salute to everybody that's going to tap in afterwards. You know, the analytics say a lot of people come in afterwards. Is what it is. You know, we growing organically, constant elevation at all times. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all miss me. I know y'all miss me. I know y'all, you go through this YouTube thing, you see these content creators, you know what I'm saying? They dusty, they rusty, all flabby and sick, you know what I mean? Like Larry Holmes and and you be waiting for Grown Man Business TV to tap in. You know what I'm saying? To give you a eye full of that grown man business, to give you an ear full of that grown man business. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute to everybody that's in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of people in the DMs. And you know, right now they asking me, Grown Man Business TV, what you think, what you think about what's going on with Tip? What you think about what's going on with King? You feel what I'm saying? And you know, here we are. Here we are. So big salute to everybody that's tapped in. I know y'all be missing me, but this YouTube thing comes second to Grown Man Business. See, the difference between me and them is I'm gonna handle this grown man business. You know what I mean? So get in where you fit in. You understand me? You gonna get down or you gonna lay down. And if you lay down, you gonna stay down. Yeah, is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But I mean that, and I stand on every single word. Every single word spoken, I stand on that. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down. And if you lay down, you gonna stay down. Big salute to all my new investors. Big salute to all my day one investors. You understand me? So let's talk about it. You know, y'all see the title. You know, I'm sure y'all see the title. I'm sure y'all see the thumbnail. You understand me? Big G and BTV. You know, what do you think about what's going on with Tip? What do you think about what's going on with King Harris, his son? And I ain't gonna lie. I had to sit on the situation with what's going on with them because I didn't want to come up here and say the exact same thing that everybody else is saying. That's why I waited. I said, you know what? Let me sit back. Let me feel the temperature with this situation because one thing for sure, two things for certain, it's a family situation. So we're gonna approach this from multiple different angles. You understand what I'm saying? You already know how you do when you come here. You know, I carved out a lane for the real and I'm the only one in it. So when you come to this channel, you come here for the real. You don't come here for the sugar coated. You don't come here for the BS. You don't come here for all the extra gloss and glaze that they put over a lot of this information and a lot of this content. You come here for the real. So we're gonna approach this situation from multiple different angles. But I wanna get right into the meat and potatoes of the situation. I wanna get right into the core of this. And a lot of people are asking me what I think, and I'm gonna tell you, King Harris, you're out of pocket, homie. Absolutely out of pocket. I don't care what you went through as a child. I don't care what kind of trauma. I don't care what you feel. You never disrespect your father like that. You never play with your parents like that. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. And I ain't gonna lie. You know, I watched the video a few times. You know, I seen what happened. I heard what happened, just like everybody else. And Tip did what he had to do. Tip did exactly what he was supposed to do. See, one thing for sure, two things for certain. This new generation, y'all wasn't raised the same way we was raised. Us 80s babies, you know, us late 1900s. You know, the children and the youngsters that come up out of that, you know, we was raised a different way. You know, we literally we were afraid of our fathers. We had fear when it came to our mothers, when it came to our uncles, when it came to our elders. You young boys, you new generation people, man, these young boys, it's a whole different world. And that's what you got a glimpse of when you saw King talking about I know you. You capping. First thing, let me tell you something. If my son ever told me I was capping, If a child of mine's ever told me that I was capping, I'm going in your mouth, I'm going around your neck. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You capping? I'm cap. What you mean I'm capping? Nigga, what that mean? When I was growing up, capping mean you was shooting up something. Capping means somebody was getting the cap busted. Maybe I'm just old school. But when you get to talking about I'm capping, you don't tell your father he capping. You understand me now? Again, we gonna approach this from multiple different angles because it's always a method to the madness. It's always a cause to the effect. And that's what I do want to tap into. I do want to give my thoughts and my insight, my perspective on the cause. What causes a young man to think he could talk to his father any which kind of way? What causes a young man to want to reject the luxury, the silver spoon? See, again, it's polar opposites. My generation and this new generation is polar opposites, and we're gonna talk about that. But for right now, TIP, I want to give a big salute to the king of the South. I want to give a big salute to Clifford Harris. You know what I mean? Tip, yeah, T.I. That's grown man business. That's what grown men do when your puppies get out of line. Every now and then you gotta put them in check. When the puppies get to barking too loud, every now and then you gotta raise your voice and you gotta chin check them. The puppy's gonna try you every now and then. It's inevitable. It's inevitable, my G. So I gotta give a big salute to Tip for giving a demonstration of what grown men supposed to do when the babies get out of line. Yeah. Oh, I'm capping. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna show you what a cap do then. Yeah, come on, man. Out of pocket. Out of pocket. It was utterly disgusting work, my G's. But it was funny to me. It made me laugh because again, I'm an 80s baby. I came up in the late 1900s. I always tell my children I came up in the late 1900s. They laugh when I tell them that. But they don't understand that it was a whole different day and age. It was a whole different time in the early 1900s. Yeah. Everything was hands-on. We didn't have these cell phones. So when you get to raising your voice, when you get to talking back, when you get to talking this, that, and the third, speaking in slang and feeling yourself and smelling yourself, the OGs, the grown men that stood on grown man business, they had no other way but to put you back in check, homie. It's what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be now. I had to get that out the way because it's multiple different angles when it comes to this situation. And I want to approach this from another angle now. King Harris, he's light bright. Yeah, the young man he's mixed up. He got a little black in him. He got a little Caucasian in him. You understand me? And when you mix that Caucasian and you mix that black gene, it sometimes it don't come out right. Sometimes the youngsters coming out looking like the Simpsons character. You got young King Harris. He looking like a young platypus. He looked like he was mixed with T.I. and platypus. Yeah. TIP, Tiny Harris, and a little mixture of platypus. He got that platypus look to him. His lips is real big, and he just got that funny Simpson look to him, homie. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta know something. Back in the day, you had Shamar. You had Al B. Shore. You had all of these light-skinned, light, bright guys that was in the industry and they were popping. You know what I'm saying? They had the light-skinned balls popping, but in New Jack City, Wesley Snipes put it into all of that. He put it into all of that. And ever since Wesley Snipes did what he did in New Jack City, ever since Wesley Snipes did what he did to G Money, the light-skinned ball's been overly aggressive. And that's what I see in young King Harris. Overly aggressive. First and foremost, he's light bright. His mama is a full-on Caucasian, and he don't know whether he's tapping into this black side or if he's tapping into his white side. He don't feel accepted by the white people, and he don't feel accepted by us. Young King, I'm speaking about Young King. You understand? So he these light skinned dudes, and this is respectfully. This is respectfully to my light skinned brothers. You know, they get real aggressive. They always feel like somebody is trying them. You know, you can say anything to one of them, and they instantly feel like somebody is trying to take advantage of them. Somebody is trying to down them. You feel what I'm saying? And when you look at Lil King, man, he again, he light bright. You know, he grew up with the silver spoon. You know, that I see that, it was a big situation when that silver spoon got brought up, that pacifier and that silver spoon. Feel what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say the difference in the cultures and in the generations. When I was coming up, all you wanted was somebody to provide you with a silver spoon, homie. You know, you wouldn't believe how many dudes in the hood, how many shooters, how many drug dealers, how many guys that was growing up in poverty used to have daydreams about having a silver spoon provided for them. You know, that's one of the things that make my generation go so hard, homie. You know, it's we grew up in poverty. We grew up in poverty. We grew up, trying to figure out a way to get out of poverty. And we were so adamant about it that a lot of us have children that are not growing up in poverty. We really made a way for ourselves. But these youngsters, they want a taste of poverty. You know, when you give your kids too much, they reject it. It's big salute, homie. I'm gonna figure out how to give you a mod, man. Just give me 2 seconds. Hold on. I'm gonna figure out how to give you a mod, dog. Hold on. Pen. Tell me how to use it as a moderator. Boom. There you go. Yeah. Hey, look, man. I'm an OG. Hold on. I'm gonna give you that. All right. I think you would now go ahead and hit that joint. Let me see if you got that. Um, Hold on. Okay. There you go. You locked in, homie. But like I was saying, right? You know, we work so hard to get these children out of poverty. We work so hard to give the youngsters something that we didn't have. That one thing we forgot is that they're going to reject it if you give them too much. And it's not just King Harris. You see it with Floyd Mayweather, his children. A lot of the kids, man, they want to be from poverty. They want a taste of the trap. They want to be from the hood. They want street credibility, homie. And that's one of the main factors that's plaguing young King. He grew up, his daddy is the king of the South. It's the king, bitch. That's Tip. That's Tip. He the king of the South. He got the gun charges. He used to sell dope. He made trap music. His daddy made trap music. You understand? So his daddy don't want him going to the trap. His daddy don't want him in the streets. But all King want to do is regain the respect of the streets. He want to be a part of the hood. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy when you sit back and watch it. These youngsters, they want to be just like us. And all we want them to do is be better than us. All we want them to do is go higher up on the totem pole. All we want them to do is make more money. And we want them to be better than what we were, what we ever could become. And all they want to do is be us. It show you how powerful our generation, 80s babies, 90s made me, the late 1900s. Our generation might be one of the most powerfulest generations that ever existed. So King, man, he got a dilemma, and he got to figure that out. He got to choose what side of the bench, what side of the fence he want to be on. He got to choose what he want to do. And he's approaching a crossroad. You're approaching a crossroad, young King Harris, because this is the reason why you're attacking your family. This is the reason why you're disrespecting your parents. because you don't know exactly what you want to do. You don't know exactly what you want to be. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Like I said, I didn't want to come up here and say the same thing that I say everybody on YouTube, everybody on social media is saying, because really it's easy math. It's easy math. Tip choked you out and he put you in check, and that's what he was supposed to do. And now we breaking down the cause to the effect. The cause is success. The cause is the silver spoon that been in your mouth this whole time, your whole existence. You've been growing up with a silver spoon in your mouth. You understand what I'm saying? Trying to prove something to the hood dudes, trying to prove something to the streets. That's never gonna work for you. That's never gonna work. The majority of you youngsters in this generation, y'all came up with a silver spoon, if you believe it or not. We paved the way. We carved out a lane for the real so that y'all can have it easy. You understand what I'm saying? Now, a whole nother angle that I don't see a lot of people really engaging and really tapping into is the fact that Tiny and TIP chose to be celebrities. Whew. Listen. I've already told y'all the higher ups and the elites are working at all times. The higher ups and the elites are putting work. They're playing chess at the highest level at all times, my G. So when you begging to be in this industry, when you dying to be a part of Hollywood, you're gonna make a sacrifice. And a lot of y'all get caught up when it comes to the, the blood sacrifice, the humiliation rituals. A lot of y'all get locked out of every other aspect of the sacrifice. But see, what Tiny and Tip did is they sacrificed being parents so that they could be celebrities. Woo. When you are a celebrity, a lot of the times you have to sacrifice being a good, strong, stable, reliable parent. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. See, this is Grown Man Business TV. And one thing about being grown man and standing on grown man business is you got to be all of those things, homie. You got to be reliable. You got to be, stable. You got to be, accessible when it come to your kids, when it come to your family, when it come to the ones that fall up under your wing. But see, when you chasing that bag, when you chasing that moolah, when you chasing that guap, time and energy is something that you have to sacrifice. Ooh, ooh. So imagine this. You got the king of the South. You got Tiny, the lead singer of Escape. You got these big celebrities going out on tour for years at a time, going out on tour for months and years at a time, making all of this money, but sacrificing the time and the energy that it takes to raise these babies. And now you got a king, a young King Harris, telling you that he know you. Oh, we gonna talk about that. Oh, we gonna get into that. We gonna talk, but for right now, again, time and energy, you have to sacrifice that. See, one thing I know that I always realized about these youngins, they don't really understand this part of the situation. Now, again, we do, but the youngsters, they don't understand what come with money. They don't understand what come with success. These youngsters, they want you to provide all the money, and they want you to be at every basketball game. They want you to get rich, and they want you to be home every day to help them with their homework. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, what you will learn, it don't work like that. Not in America. It don't work like that. The more money you obtain, the less time you have. Whew. I can only give it to you real. The richer you become in America, the less time you're going to have for your family, the less time you're going to have for your children. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. A lot of y'all is working 9 to 5s. Y'all working 40 hours a week, and y'all barely have time to come home and cook dinner and situate the situation for the babies. So imagine if you was making millions of dollars. Imagine you was making millions of dollars. Not only you're making millions of dollars, but you got the higher ups and the elites on your back, letting you know, oh, you're gonna go get this money. We don't care what's going on in your house. We don't care what's going on with your family dynamics. You're gonna go on tour and you're gonna get rich and you're gonna make us rich. See, that's what happens with a lot of these people. So when you look at Tip, when you look at Tiny, when you look at what's going on, they're not acknowledging. They're not acknowledging that, yeah, yo, can y'all hear me? Some of y'all can hear me. Put the thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. 10-4, 10-4. Yeah, we back, man. I had to handle some business. I don't know. I had to take a call. Got some business coming up. Can you hear me? 10-4. All right, we back in. All right, so where did I leave off, guys? Where did I leave off? The cause and effect, my G. It's always a cause and effect, man. And when you know, one thing you have to do as a celebrity, one thing you have to do for as a celebrity, what you'll notice is a lot of their children harbor resentment for them. A lot of their children do not like them. Now, it don't matter how rich they are. It don't matter how successful they are as celebrities. The majority of their children have trauma and they harbor resentment because the simple fact is you're not only going to make a blood sacrifice, you're not only going to be a puppet for the higher ups and the elites, but what you're going to do is sacrifice your time and your energy. And if you're in tune with the channel, you'll understand, and you always hear me say, you understand, time and energy is the highest forms of currency. See, I don't just say these things for no reason. I say it because it has numerous and it's strong and it's powerful meanings behind what I'm saying to y'all. Again, I don't come up here to play. I don't, you know, when I come and I'm on live, it's time to tap in. You've tapped into the realest on YouTube, man. I gotta be honest, the realest on YouTube, and that's why I tell y'all, time and energy is the highest forms of currency. And what a lot of us don't understand is that to become a millionaire on this soil, to become highly successful, to become, you know, the top 1%, you gotta sacrifice time and energy with your family. You gotta sacrifice time and energy to get that paper. So we trade in our time and we trade in our energy for paper. When I'm here to tell y'all, and y'all never heard it anywhere else but here, I'm telling y'all that time and energy is the highest forms of currency, my G. It's the highest form of money that we have. So when you deprive your family of time and energy and you go out and you make millions of dollars and the higher ups and the elites make billions of dollars off your time and off your energy, you know, your kids are affected by it. Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Nobody in America is privy, and nobody in America is, you know, separated from that. We all are exchanging time and energy. But when you look at Tip, when you look at Tiny, when you look at these celebrities, my G, they are sacrificing time and energy to the 10th power. To the 10th power. So I had to break that down so that when you look at a King Harris and you think to yourself, why is this young man acting like that? You know, he's so privileged. You know, his family is successful. His family is rich. They have money. They have a lot of money. They have big houses. They have cars. They have fame and they have fortune. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. One thing they was lacking was time and energy. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. The higher ups in it, man, it's chess at the highest level. Now again, I'm old school. I don't really care what your family did. I don't care what your mama did. I don't care what's going on. You try hard to never disrespect them, and we all human, so we've all disrespected our parents. We've all had, outbursts. We've all lashed out at our parents. Nobody is absent of that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can throw stones at King. Nobody can judge King. I can only tell you what I would have did in that situation, and I can only tell you what's the cause of the effects of what we seeing in these youngsters. These youngsters, these youngsters want to be gangsters. They want to be sliders. They want to be respected in the streets because my generation made it so we made it look so good, homie. We made standing on the corner, smoking blunts, sagging your pants, shooting guns. We made all of that look like a movie. We made it all look like a movie. We put the glitz and the glamour on top of that. And these youngsters, they just was eating that up. And see, that's why I get at some of these, some of these content creators, I get at them a certain way because I still see them leaning on glorifying jail, glorifying the streets. So now that I'm a grown man that's standing on grown man business, I'ma attack that. I'ma go against that. If when I hear certain content creators talking a certain way, I'm the one that's gonna contest that. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, my G. But you have to sacrifice time and energy to become successful in this world, on this land. And we've been brainwashed, we've been bamboozled, we've been tricked into trading our time and our energy. The same time, the same energy that you would put into figuring out what your purpose is. The same time, the same energy that you would use to grow your family, to strengthen your family. We trade 40 hours of that a week to the higher ups and the elites. We trade 40 hours of that a week just to pay Uncle Sam to look. Yeah, that's a whole nother angle. That's a whole nother topic. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at King, you need to understand that the majority of these young boys is just like King. They just don't have the silver spoon in their mouth. And yes, King, you had a silver spoon in your mouth, homie. You grew up the son of the king of the South. Yeah, yeah. Now let's. I like that, right? I like that. But see, when you awoke, when you awake, my G, when you can see through the smoke and mirrors, when you can see behind the curtain, you'll understand that even if you start a family business, even if you own property, even if you own everything, you really own nothing. I'm gonna say that again. Even if you start a family business, even if you own property, even if you own everything, you really own nothing. What you mean when you say that, GMB TV? Well, here it is. Here it is. You go out on tour, you make millions of dollars. You go to work every day, you make money. You build up a family business from the ground up, and you're gonna get taxed on that. So let's say you build up a family business from the ground up and you don't pay Uncle Sam those taxes. You no longer have a family business. You actually have the IRS knocking on your door and you have jail time waiting for you. You buy 50 properties. You own every property. You have the deed to every property. You will be paying thousands of dollars a year just for taxes on that property. So who really owns that property? If you got to pay taxes on it, who really owns? The only thing that you do own, the only thing that you do have a choice to own is your time and your energy and your intellectual properties. But time and energy, And they're working very hard and very strategically to get every second of your time. Listen, if they got you working 80 hours a week, then they own 80 hours of your time. If they got you working 40 hours a week, then they own 40 hours. And this is for everybody on this land. Nobody is excluded from this situation. Nobody. Now, again, when you come to Grown Man Business TV, man, we you know, I carved out a lane for the real. So you only come here for the real. But we talking about King Harris. We talking about T.I. But when you get to talking about these situations, it's so many different levels to it. It's so many different layers and levels to it that we could talk about it for days. And this particular topic can go down a rabbit hole where we can talk about all kind of other things because it all stems from the same octopus, the high erupts and the elites. It all stems from the same octopus. It's a tentacle from the same octopus. Time and energy, homie. So when you got a young man that's disrespecting his family like that, when you got a young man that's approaching the situation like that in public, now we gonna talk about this. You got to understand that he has been deprived of time and energy. Now let's go to a whole nother angle. When you go to these football games and you go to these basketball games and you're not in the nosebleeds, but you're in one of those suites, a lot of the times, more than likely, it's just you and family in that suite. You can't just go into these suites. You have to be invited to a suite at the Falcons game. You don't just get to walk in there. You don't just get to partake in that type of upper echelon. You understand what I'm saying? So I thought it was disgusting work, and I thought that it really showed how much King Harris doesn't respect his family and his parents, because the first thing he did was cut on a live stream, seeking validation from the internet, seeking certification from social media. When you having a situation with your family, the last thing you want to do is put it on live. The last thing you need to be doing is hitting the live button for all of us to see. So now it goes from a family altercation to something public where we all can give our input, we all can give our perspective, we all can judge the situation. You understand? This is a sign of the times, my G. And I'm using this situation on a broad scale. I'm using this situation with a broad brush because it's not just him. It's really all of this Babylon that we living in. But, you know, again, celebrities are put into the public to be critiqued. Celebrities are put out there for our entertainment. So when homie went live and he get to talking about X, Y, and Z, that's an absolute no-no. Absolute no-no. I wish one of my children would tell me I'm capping. Listen, I wish one of my babies would tell me I'm capping. I'm capping. Yeah, I'm a cap. Yeah, I'm gonna show you capping. I'm gonna show you capping. I wish one of my babies would talk to me with that type of slang, like I know what y'all talking about. Oh, you capping? I'm capping. But see, again, when you build up that animosity, when you build up that type of resentment towards your family, towards the elders, the ones above you, you get to noticing and remembering things. And one thing that King said that really stuck with me, it was red flags all over the field. I mean, it really got my wheels to turning, is when he looked at his dad, when he looked T.I. right in his eyes, he said, "I know you." See, a lot of y'all, it went over your head and it went under your bridge. For a lot of people, that went over your head and it went under your bridge. But when he got on that live and he looked at his father and he said, "I know the real you. I know you. These people don't know you." That's when I understood that, you know, King is going to be an issue. King is the child that's going to grow up to write the tell-all book, and he's going to expose all of the dirt on Tip. He's going to be the one that gives up the information. And when it's time for Tip to fall, when it's time for the king to be decapitated, King is going to be the Judas in that. See, again, a lot of people are talking about the fight. A lot of people are talking about, him getting choked out. A lot of people are talking about X, Y, and Z, and, the whole stand on business. Everybody's talking about when he said he's standing on business. But what I caught, what I homed in on was when he told Tip, I know you. What do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean when you say, I know you? Because we all know Tip. We all know the king of the South. We all know TIP. But see, it's parts of this. It's a lot going on behind the smoke and mirrors. And King is privy to that information. King is one of the ones that know what Tiny and Tip do in that house. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch for the Judas at all times. The Judas is the one that's going to stab you in the back. See, a lot of the times, the Judas is the ones closest to you, G. The Judas is a family member. The Judas is one of your day one partners. The Judas is the one that you don't know and you don't think they would ever pull that knife out. See what I'm saying? So, again, man, we all are stuck in this rat race. We all are stuck in the matrix. The matrix. Yeah. The land of milk and honey, the land of opportunity, the land where you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. We all stuck in this matrix. Time and energy is all we own. Time and energy is all we have control over. And the Judas is going to be right there when your time is up. The Judas is going to be right there, pushing the button, pulling out the knife when your time is up. Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah. Yeah, when the king get old, his teeth ain't sharp no more. Yeah, he seen it all, homie. He looking at his dad and he saying, you ain't the king no more. I'm standing on business. You drop me off in your neighborhood, I'm standing on business. See, his name is King. It was all written before. Listen, everything that happens, everything that we go through, even when it come down to these babies, it was all written. It's already been written. His name, you named him King. And in due time, he's going to want to be the king. The real king, homie. Yeah. Yeah, now again, I wanted to get the obvious out the way in the beginning of the video. The obvious is, any of my children talk to me like that, I don't care where we at. We gonna do that. We gonna shake the room. We gonna move some furniture. My son wouldn't even, trust me, my son wouldn't even think to come out his mouth like that. Cause even as he trust me. But King been showing signs of this for a long time. King been wanting to go to his grandmama house so he could suck on that pacifier for a long time. King said, King said, if I'm a mistake, just tell everybody and stop acting like, see, he done heard Tip tell people, he done had these conversations like, homie, we didn't mean to have you. Tip, listen, King looked like one of those babies that, yeah. He looked like one of them babies we ain't mean to have. Well, we ain't mean to have you, man. You light bright. You built like a platypus in the face. We don't know what to do with you. We try to give you some veneers. Your veneers bigger than Steve Harvey's. We trying to figure out how to get you. You don't fit in the family. And listen, mark my words. Mark my words, homie. King is gonna make Tip pay in due time. The Judas. Yeah, it is what it is. People, it's gonna be. Makes a little. Yeah, man. Yeah, I see again. When it went down, I was like everybody else, you know. But when you really dissect what he was saying to Tip, you got to understand something. Tip was letting it ride for a long time. They was going back and forth. That's something I wouldn't do either. I'm not going back and forth with no little homie that long. You done already said too much 20 minutes ago. I'm all the way on you, right? But when he started saying, this is remind yourself of this part. When Young King started saying, why is you letting them play with me like that? That's when Tiny ran up on him and was like, hold up, be quiet. Watch the video. She told him, don't say nothing else. Don't you say nothing else. Shut up. And he kept going because he knows something. See again, in this business, when you get rich in this business and you become millionaires and you got mansions and you got all the perks that come with this business, they got a lot of dirt on you. And it's so much, it starts to be so much dirt that everybody around you starts to have a little bit of dirt. The security know dirt on you. Your children know some dirt on you. Your close homies, they know some of the things you done did. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. And the reason for this is because one day you have to fall. Look at Puffy. Look at old Honeycomb. It don't matter how big you get, in due time you have to fall when you come up under the higher ups and the elites. You remember the movie Pinocchio? He wanted to be human real bad, and there was a lot of things stopping him because the puppet master still wants to pull those strings, homie. We don't care how human you want to be. You need to be attached to these strings. And if we can't get you attached to these strings, here we go. Here we go. So he's like, nah, you got him playing with me. Don't let him play with me like that. Woo, woo, woo. When he told Tip, I know you. And I know you like that. Don't play with me, homie. I know you. You heard Tip say, ain't no mystery in my history. yo, yo, Tip said, ain't no mystery in my history. You understand me? And you got to understand something, man. When he said that, that was a deflection right there. It was an instant deflection, but he was enraged at the thought that you would expose him over them saying, you know, you had a silver spoon, over, you know, them saying that you had a passy in your mouth. You know, Tiny said he was just playing with you. That's what she got scared. Tiny she was highly afraid that Young King was gonna say the wrong thing and somebody was gonna have a video camera. Like, she was spooked that he was gonna say the wrong thing on live. Tip said, listen, ain't no mystery in my history. And that's when he got up. That's when he got up. And Tiny telling him, yo, chill, chill, chill. And that's when Tip said, I got to take action. And he walked up on him and he pressed him and he said, man, you embarrassing yourself. But the whole time he telling him that he embarrassing himself, he pressing him. He pressing him. You feel me? And as he's pressing him, you hear King saying, man, back up off me, man. Like, get off me. Because Tip is at the point now where I got to do physical harm to you because I'm not going to let you open your mouth and say the wrong thing on this live stream, homie. I ain't going to stay long on this, but I did want to give y'all the angles that I'm not seeing. I'm the only one willing to give y'all the angles, the realness. Everybody's leaving out. You know, everybody wants to leave these parts out. They want to focus on the standing on business aspect of it. Nobody wants to dig in, because when you dig into the situation, it always points back to the higher ups and the elites, homie, to the industry. Everybody wants to be in the industry, but nobody wants what comes with the industry. Oh, and listen, it's gonna come from multiple different angles, my G. When you dealing with the higher ups and the elites, the Judas is gonna come from multiple different angles. Oh, they got Tip, they got Tiny. They've been accused of certain situations. You know, the charges didn't stick, but you don't think that it might not come back up. You don't think that King knows something? Oh, he knows something. And he looked his dad right in the eyes and told him, "Nigga, I know you talking to like that." Nigga, when I say I stand on business, you know nigga, and I stand on business, and I know you, Tip. Stop playing with me, cuz. And I know you, boy. Crazy. I know you. That's now we got to shut youngin' up. We got to put hands on him. We gonna choke whatever we got to do, because if he go a step further telling y'all that he know me, he might tell y'all something that he know about me, because he already told y'all that he know me. The tips, yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Crime Stopper. He knows something, homie, and Solo Warrior, salute. But I'm willing to say this. It's deeper than the Crime Stopper. It's deeper than the tipster. It's deeper than the police activity. Because like Tip said, his history ain't no mystery. His history ain't no mystery. So it's way deeper than what his history is telling us. Yeah, they say his history ain't no mystery, but it is some things about his history that is a mystery. You know, them young girls was saying that Tip and Tiny was grooming them. Them young girls was saying that Tip and Tiny was feeding them drugs. You know, the same thing they pinning up P. Diddy for. The same thing they got Honeycomb and the Clamps for. Tip and Tiny have been accused of the same things. Oof. It's a checkmate right there. This is the checkmate for them higher ups and the elites. And there's always a cause to the effect. It's always a cause, homie. All of the things, you know, the young girl said that Tip with Tiny would come get him and take him to the house, and they would drink these drinks, and these drinks would have, you know, drugs in it. And you got some girls saying that, you know, they done passed out. The one girl said she passed out, and when she woke up, she had been ran through, hanging out with Tip and Tiny. You think that young King ain't been in one of them rooms and heard them orgies going down? You don't think King done been out in the hood somewhere, been out, because he don't like to be behind the gates. King said he don't like to be behind the gates. He like to be out in the neighborhood. Them young girls they was plucking off allegedly, them girls live in those neighborhoods. You think King ain't heard stories about them, you know, some allegedly taking advantage of these young girls, these strippers and X, Y, and Z? You don't think he done heard the talk in the streets of Atlanta? So when he looked at Tip, he told him, "I know you, homie. Yeah, don't you ever play with me. That's the vibe I got from him. Don't you ever play with me like that, Tip, because I know you." He ain't call him dad. He said, "Yeah, Clifford." Yeah, he had to get on top of that ASAP, because you already know he was live, because Tiny already talked to the live. So we already know you recording. We already know you recording, and we know you emotional, and we know you mad. So you willing to say and expose. You willing to expose. You willing to put it all out there to save face for the streets, to be recognized and to be solidified and to be stamped by the streets. You will throw me under the bus. I got to get in your face. He did, you know, he did that for a reason. He ran up on him and he told him he was embarrassing himself, and he's embarrassing his family. And before he could get too many words out after that, Tip was on his ass, and Tip had him in the Cobra clutch. So it's a whole nother angle right there. You know, do I agree with King? Hell no. Do I agree with Tip? Yeah, you was born and you was raised with a silver spoon, homie. I remember hearing your name in all of his songs. He actually named the whole album after you, King. So yes, you were raised with a silver spoon, man. It is what it is. You could never, you youngsters could never grow up in the day and age we grew up in. It don't matter how many bandos you recreate. It don't matter how many traps you think you've been in. It'll never be a time like the 90s. It'll never be a time again like the 90s and the early 2000s. The way we was raised as 80s babies and late 70s babies, you guys will never get a chance to experience that. And you shouldn't want to experience it. All we ever wanted was a silver spoon. Y'all got a silver spoon and y'all don't want the silver spoon. All we ever wanted was a big house with a pool in the back, couple of foreigns out there. That's what we used to hustle for. That's why when I was coming up, it wasn't cool to be a fiend. It wasn't cool to be on heroin. It wasn't cool to do drugs. Smoke your little weed, but anything other than that, it wasn't cool because we was doing the money getting. We was the ones selling the product. We was the ones hustling. Y'all want that so bad, but y'all was never raised in a time like that. So now they done got y'all strung out on drugs. Y'all doing pills. Y'all sipping lean. Y'all everything except what we was. And that's okay. But you got to stand on your own bit. So yeah, stand on business, youngster. But don't try to stand on the band, though. That's our thing. Don't try to stand on the trap. That's our thing. I remember when your daddy made the album Trap Music, one of my favorite albums of all times. Trap music. We was living that. We was in that. See, again, you youngsters, y'all don't even understand and y'all can't fathom that there will never be a time again. We didn't have cell phones. When it was time for altercation, we didn't go live. We didn't have cell phones, homie. We didn't have smartphones. My bad. We had cell phones, but we didn't have smartphones. The difference between y'all and us is everything was hands-on. You couldn't talk about the trap if you wasn't hustling in it. You couldn't come off the porch if you wasn't physical and hands-on. Y'all dudes is Twitter fingers. Y'all not hands-on. Y'all go live. Y'all argue on Instagram. Y'all want to, yeah, this is y'all thing. This is y'all thing, homie. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. We didn't have Cash App. Yeah, we didn't have Cash App, homie. We kept everything in. Yeah, I'm a dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur, and I'm stuck in my ways in a lot of ways. So I wanna end this with this. A dude like King, a young man like King, when I was growing up, would have got bullied. He would have got taken advantage of. He either would have gave up the goods or he would have had to do something to somebody and he would have ended up in jail because y'all ain't built like we were built. Y'all ain't built the same. And I know it hurt. It hurts these youngsters. They want what we was forced to have. We was forced into that type of poverty. We was forced into those situations where either you was going to work at McDonald's for $5.75 an hour or you was going to hit the block, make it flip. We didn't have choices like y'all. We didn't have social media. We didn't have these platforms that you can get. Nah, homie, y'all literally can stay in the house. King, you went to your grandmama's house, and for the most part, you stayed in the house and you sucked on a pacifier. And I know it hurts your heart, man. I know it's killing you. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. See, again, instead of Tip antagonizing you, man, and chastising you, Tip need to sit you down. He need to sit you down and give you a real glimpse of what this is, homie. A real glimpse. Yeah. Tip, send him out there. Don't let him go to his. You can't go stay at your grandmama's house. You 18 years old. You a grown. See, again, and I know I'm just going off because this is something that I talk to my youngsters about. My anybody fall under my wing that's young. I talk to them about this. King, you're 18 years old. When we was coming up, we automatically knew at 18 your ass was getting out the house. At 18, you can't go to your grandmama house and you can't stay at your mama house. Now you got to go fend for yourself. That's what we did at 18. You walking around 18 years old, still at your mama house, still at your grandmama house, still eating off the silver spoon that you want to deny. Eating off the silver spoon that you want to act like you never had, homie. You wanna be a man, get out there. Don't take no money from your dad. Don't take no money. Take that chain off and sell it if you got to. Yeah. Yeah, he 18, still staying in the mansion that he don't pay for. You youngsters ain't have it like us. Because, yeah, I wanted to talk about the higher ups and the elites. I want to talk about the cause and effect. But now I want to talk to you, King. You softer than Dollar Tree cotton. Whew. You just made the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys. You are officially, King Harris is officially a part of the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys. Because if you ever walked into a Dollar Tree and you went into that aisle and you grabbed a fresh bag of that Dollar Tree cotton and you squeezed it, you would understand how soft that Dollar Tree cotton is. Oh, yeah, King. Yeah, I think the top of this year, I'm going to start giving out awards for the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys. And I'm going to make a list. Every time I pick out and I point out one of you Dollar Tree Cotton Boys, I'm going to give you an award. And King Harris, you officially made the list. You softer than Dollar Tree cotton. You don't ever want to end up in the hood for real. And I'm talking about outside of Atlanta, somewhere where your daddy ain't got no rain at, somewhere where your daddy can't pull no strings at. You don't want to end up in jail with those platypus lips, those platypus lips and that red bone. You a red bone and that soft Caucasian dog fur. You got that, yeah. We don't want to hear nothing. We don't want to hear nothing. And it just came to my brain and I had to give you that. And I had, Tip, your son, listen, King, you are officially a part of the Dollar Tree Cotton. The Dollar Tree Cotton Boys. Yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. And you know, Prince Jr., the whole Prince family. I done passed out Dollar Tree Cotton Boy awards to them. I done passed out Dollar Tree Cotton. Listen, a lot of these dudes is soft, man. So if you want to prove something to the hood, you want to prove something to social media, get out there and let's get it. Get out your family, get out your mama house, get out your grandmama house, take the pacifier out your mouth and get out there and go into the world, homie. Prove yourself as a man. Until then, you might want to just simmer down, man. You might want to say, yeah, man, that dog fur, man. That dog fur. I know his pillows is full of hair. I know when he take those twisties out, it's fur everywhere. He got a lot of his mama and his grandmama inside of him. He can't control it. Hold on, guys. Let me check something out real quick. Yeah, I'm cooking, man. I gotta check on the chicken, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all already know how I give it up. Y'all already know how I give it up. Yeah, you really break it in. Hold on, let me check this chicken out real quick. Let me make sure we all right.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah, we about to eat good real quick. It is what it is.
That's another reason why grown man business TV is growing organically. That's another reason why grown man business TV is very much needed. It's because these youngsters, these youngsters take our history, they take our lives, they take the things that we grew up, the 80s babies, the late 70s, the 90s, the 80s made me and the 90s raised me. Our culture, they take that and they emulate that, but they didn't really have to go through that. It's just like what Jay-Z said, we went through that so you wouldn't have to go through that. Like it's really a real thing. They want that. And you know, again, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's the same reason. Now, just follow me. But it's the same reason why back when we was growing up, Dirty Mike, White Boy Mike, every hood has a White Boy Mike. Every hood has a Becky that hangs around. That white person that doesn't have to be in the hood, but they love being in the hood and they love being around, the poverty. It's a reason why these youngsters are begging to be in the hood. It's a reason why, these youngsters are begging to be from the bando and be from the trap and be involved in X, Y, and Z. It's a reason for that. And the reason is poverty builds character. I know that might not make sense to a lot of y'all. I know that a lot of y'all, don't really understand what I'm saying or how I'm giving it to you. But in due time, it'll you'll be able to comprehend. But poverty builds character. When you grow up in poverty, when you grow up in the hood, when you don't have it all, when you gotta hustle to get to it, when you gotta scratch and figure out how you're gonna have it, it builds character. It builds the hustle in you. When your parents are rich and they give you a silver spoon and they provide all your needs and they put you in a big house and you don't have to pay for this and you never experienced poverty, you lack character. You lack character, homie. It just, that's a prime example. Think about what I'm saying and then apply that to what you saw King do the other day. You know, when you come out of poverty, you yearn for more. You have a hunger for more. And if you got any kind of grown man business in you, you're gonna get up, you're gonna get out, and you're gonna figure out by any means necessary. That's why 50 Cent had an album called Get Rich or Die Trying. We wanted to get rich or we was willing to die behind this shit. They don't understand that. We was willing to die about this shit. That's how bad we wanted out of poverty. And that builds up a certain character, homie. Poverty builds character. So you got these white, you got a white Mike. We all had a dirty white Mike that hung out in the hood with us. We all had a dirty white Becky. She just couldn't stay out the hood. She would argue with her parents. She would go through any and everything to hang out in the hood with us. Because secretly, subconsciously, even those white people knew this is what builds the character. This is where everything starts at. All of the trends, everything that's cool, everything that we want to be, everything that pushes and forces America to move forward. Everything starts right here in the hood amongst these black people. So the white women, poverty or not, they'd make their way to the hood and they'd have little black babies. And the white boys, they would come to the hood and they would hang out and they would get invited to the cookout and they want to learn and they wanted to be a sponge to our culture because our culture builds character. When you look at young King Harris, you see a lack of character. A huge lack of character, homie. And he's fiending for it. But listen, it's too late. You 18 years old, homie. You a grown man now. So whatever character that you gained over the years, that's what you have. You've been exposed to too much. You've been exposed to hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what you running around with $50,000, $60,000 worth of jewelry on that your parents brought for you. See, you've been exposed to too much. Your character, it could never be altered. It can never be shaped and molded. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, my G. Now listen, 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 listen. We got some other things to talk about. We definitely gonna line up and we gonna tap in. But for this situation and for this topic, I had to give you the real. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. Now the food that I made for dinner, oh, I made some sauteed some asparagus, got some baked chicken, some rice, gravy. We're gonna do that tonight. That's all nice and ready. So I want y'all to tap into the next live. Make sure your notifications is on. Swim through and surf the net. Surf through YouTube. Check out all the content creators, and then you'll know and you'll feel the difference. And anytime you see the notification or you see that it's on and I'm live, I'm sure you'll tap in. Solo, man. Solo, yo. I'm gonna make you a moderator. I'm just now kind of getting onto this. Well, I've been up here, but I don't be even paying attention to the chat. So Solo, man, salute. You definitely got one of them wrenches, man. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Science. I think I'm gonna make you one too. Just in case you just in case you in the chat, I'm gonna make you one too. So there we go. We got three moderators now, locked in. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Salute. Highly appreciate you, homie. You already know how we do, man. We growing organically. We only going up. It's constant elevation. So again, I'm gonna leave y'all with I'm gonna leave y'all with this. The same thing that I start my live streams with, I'm gonna leave y'all with on this particular live stream. Time and energy is the highest forms of currency. What is currency? Currency is money. Currency is the resources that means something. Right now, currency is the green paper. It's money. It is the $100 bill. It's the $20 bill. That is currency. If we didn't have money, if we didn't have $20, if we didn't have any money, the currency would be the resources. It would be the money. I mean, it would be the water. It would be the access to livestock. It would be, material things, precious metals. Those things would be currency. But the highest form of currency, my G, I know it sounds crazy, man, but the highest form of currency is time. Whew. I don't care what you got. I don't care what you can do. I don't care about any of that. If you ain't got time, you ain't got nothing. And then energy. Because everybody, moving around in this matrix, they downplay energy. Energy is powerful. Energy it creates and it manifests things. You can sit and think about something for a long enough time and it will manifest into your life. That is energy being used. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency. So I'm gonna leave y'all. But I want y'all to always keep it in front of your mental Rolodex. How can I preserve my time and my energy? How can I protect it? That's why you got little kings running around, because a lot of the fathers got time and they ended up in jail and they wasn't able to spend time and energy with these young boys. A lot of these dudes winning became celebrities and they weren't able to spend time and energy with these young boys. A lot of these dudes worked their life away at a 9 to 5, working 45, 50, 60 hours a week, and they wasn't able to put time and energy into these young boys. Time and energy is the highest forms of currency, my G. It is what it is, and it'll